Ever feel like you're working your tail off, but still not being seen by the right people? Like you're shouting into the void on Instagram, hustling in all directions, and yet crickets? In today's episode, I'm pulling back the curtain on exactly how I created visibility in the margins of mom life this year and the specific strategies that help me get in front of the right people without burning myself out. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Moms Make Money podcast. I'm your host, Jenny. I'm the owner of Moms Make Money Collective, a podcast and visibility strategist, and mom of two. Many moms feel like we need to sacrifice our careers for our children, but I wholeheartedly believe that we can have a thriving business and family at the same time. In this podcast, we're going to be diving into the ins and outs of running a business as a mom and getting real and raw about all things parenting. So buckle up because we're about to go all in. Welcome back to the Moms Make Money podcast, where we talk all about building your profitable service-based business in part-time hours. I'm your host, Jenny, and I'm here to help you ditch the hustle and create margin in your business and life. Let's dive in. So let's be real. Visibility is the lifeblood of your business. You could have the best offers in the world, but if no one knows that you exist, sales will feel like pulling teeth. But visibility doesn't mean dancing on TikTok 5 times per day or posting carousels until your eyes cross. It means making sure the right people, the ones who are actually a fit for your offers, see and hear you. That's why I started asking myself the following question. What if I could grow my visibility in a way that works with my life instead of against it? So here's my 2025 visibility shift from scattered to strategic. So last year, in 2024, I felt pulled in every single direction. I was trying to dabble on Instagram, trying to keep up with video content, starting to experiment with LinkedIn, all the things, and it just left me feeling really stretched thin. But in 2025, I gave myself permission to simplify. I picked strategies that made the biggest impact and let go of the rest. I call this approach visibility in the margins. It's about leveraging the 15 minutes you have in the carpool line or the 30 minutes you have between calls and focusing those on high ROI visibility moves. So here's what worked for me this year. So the first thing is podcast guesting. So instead of constantly trying to grow my own audience from scratch, I borrowed other people's audiences. Being a guest on podcasts where my dream clients already listen was a total game changer. So, for example, I guested on a show for service-based moms earlier this year, and within a week or two, I had several discovery calls booked just from that one interview. The takeaway here is to not underestimate the power of getting in front of someone else's warm and loyal audience. The second thing that worked for me this year is collaborations and events. So my visibility skyrocketed through bundles, summits, and other joint ventures. Not only did these events get me in front of thousands of moms who might never have found me otherwise, but they also helped me form deep partnerships. Those relationships are absolute gold because peers became referral partners. I can directly trace client contracts back to connections I made within these collaborations. The takeaway here is that visibility isn't just about your audience. It's also about the network that you build behind the scenes. And the third thing is email and audio first content. I made email my number one platform and treated it like my personal living room. Instead of giving my subscribers bland updates, I wrote emails that felt like conversations. And because of that, my open rates and replies and clicks skyrocketed. My podcast became the cornerstone of my content because it's sustainable, it fits my mom life, and it builds deep trust faster than a social media post ever could. Now, Threads, that is my fun outlet, but the core visibility drivers were definitely my email plus podcast. The takeaway here is that you don't need to be everywhere. Pick 1 to 2 visibility channels that you can stay consistent with and go all in on those channels. Want the real picture? Visibility for me doesn't happen in 4-hour content batching days, at least not in this season of life. It happens in those micro moments. I've recorded podcast interviews during nap time, I've outlined emails sitting in the car line, and I've hosted summits while still managing bedtime routines. It's not perfect, and sometimes it's even messy. But it's proof that visibility can happen in small pockets of time when you're intentional. The takeaway here is to not wait for the perfect uninterrupted day, because that's probably not going to happen. You want to use the margins you do have to move the needle in your business. So you may be wondering, what did I stop doing? So one thing I stopped doing was chasing every single algorithm change. The post 3 times a day or your business will die advice, I just let it go. Another thing I stopped doing is posting just for the sake of posting. If it didn't serve my audience or connect with my goals, it just didn't get published, and that's okay. Another thing is I stopped feeling guilty for not being everywhere. Instead, I focused on being impactful where I was showing up. The takeaway here is cutting out the noise freed up mental bandwidth to show up more powerfully in the places that actually matter to me and my audience. So here are some key lessons for you. Visibility doesn't require a massive audience. It requires intentional action in the right spaces. Borrowed audiences, things like podcast guesting, collaborations, and summits, can accelerate your growth way faster than trying to build in isolation. And the third thing is that consistency beats volume. One thoughtful email per week is better than 20 scattered posts. And lastly, visibility in the margins means leaning into the time that you do have instead of stressing about the time that you don't. So here's the bottom line. You don't need a 40-hour work week or a massive team to be seen. You need a simple, intentional visibility plan that works in the margins of your mom life. That's what's been working for me in 2025, and I know it can work for you too. So if this episode got you thinking about your own visibility strategy, I'd love for you to share it with a fellow mom entrepreneur who's building their business in the margins as well. Until next time, keep showing up in the margins. You're making more impact than you realize. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'd love it if you would head on over to our free Facebook group called Moms Make Money Collective to connect with us further. If you're more of an Instagram fan, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Moms Make Money Collective. If you're loving the show, make sure to leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcast. Your feedback means the absolute world to us. We'll see you in the next episode.